In 272 AD, the survival of the entire Roman Empire hung by a thread, ultimately decided by a single, largely forgotten battle. While we often perceive Rome as an invincible monolith, by 272 it was actively fracturing into three distinct, separated blocks. This collapse was immediate and existential, threatening to dissolve the state in a matter of months rather than centuries. The greatest threat to such a massive empire is rarely an outside invasion, but rather the internal momentum of its own fracturing. Emerging from the east to exploit this weakness was Queen Zenobia and her powerful Palmyrene Empire. Zenobia's forces were aggressively expanding into vital Roman territory, systematically stripping the empire of its eastern resources. Into this vacuum stepped Emperor Aurelian, a leader tasked with halting the empire's total disintegration. Aurelian faced a binary choice: travel east and defeat Zenobia's superior forces immediately, or watch the Roman Empire cease to exist. He launched his campaign as a desperate do-or-die rescue mission for the core identity of Rome itself. Aurelian marched his legions east until he met Zenobia's strongest army at the city of Emesa. On this field, the Romans were at a massive tactical disadvantage against the overwhelming physical power of the Palmyrene heavy cavalry. This diagram shows the physics of the threat. When a heavy, armored cavalry block hits a thin infantry formation, its concentrated momentum shatters the line instantly. A charge moving at full speed carries enough kinetic energy to make a traditional Roman defensive stance a guaranteed massacre. Aurelian was facing an unsolvable physics problem. Human infantry simply cannot absorb the raw force of heavy cavalry on an open plain. To solve it, Aurelian gave a counterintuitive order. As the cavalry charged, the Roman horsemen were to turn and run away. This trap had Roman units reversing direction to lure the enemy. The Palmyrene cavalry takes the bait, initiating a pursuit that breaks their lines. Carrying heavy armor rapidly drains their stamina until they reach a staggered halt. Suddenly, the Romans wheel around and counterattack. The Palmyrene army, physically spent and unable to defend itself, suffers a total collapse. Aurelian secured the field by weaponizing the enemy's own kinetic momentum and stamina against them. This victory at Emesa shattered Zenobia's military power, effectively neutralizing the threat from the east. With Zenobia's core army destroyed, Aurelian was able to systematically reclaim every stolen eastern territory for the empire. Reclaiming the east provided the stability and resources necessary to reverse the empire's disintegration, finally establishing a unified, secure border once again. This coin commemorates the achievement, bearing the title that defined his legacy, Restorer of the World. It remains a stark historical irony that, despite saving the foundation of Western civilization, this battle is largely unremembered today. Ultimately, the survival of the Roman Empire rested on the brilliant execution of strategic deception.